Hello, this video is just for fun. I thought about doing a video about the house, the property that we live in, and we've been living in for now 5, 6 years, maybe seven. And I thought of going through everything that is wrong with this house. So the house itself is pretty nice, as you can see. It's 1939 detached property in South Wales, and it has a front garden, and it did have this drive. As you can see from the side, first of all, the drive is really small. The garage is small as well. Whenever we were parking the car, you can see the wall on the side. Basically, you would open the door and slam it against those rocks. And same thing for the left hand side, where you see there are those concrete fence posts, and the fence itself was pretty short. I mean, it was completely rotten. The garage itself, you can see the previous owner replaced the door. The door itself is pretty rubbish. Basically, all this front drive is something that we also redone. Another thing that I want you to notice, you see that bush by the garage? That bush right there, it was actually blocking the air vents, and that was causing a big problem with the air ventilation. So the video is now taking us closer, and it's gonna go inside the house. But again, yeah, that bush there, it was completely blocking the air vents, so it had to be taken out. This is one of the air vents as well, but you can see it's not blocked. Then you walk in, and entering, you see, let's see if I can stop right there. The gate there, it had some mesh which I removed, and also it wasn't very safe, so I kind of blocked it up with some wood and stuff. Now it goes into the house. The entrance is alright. That green on the walls, I later found out the green was actually to disguise the fact that all the skirting boards and everything that you see, it looked like it's gloss white. It wasn't gloss white at all. It was like a gloss greeny white. So once we painted those green wall, it was obvious, and we had to repaint everything else, all the gloss stuff. So you can see the entrance is quite small, and the floor is nice, but I'll talk about the floor a bit later actually. So there is a cupboard there. The cupboard had to be cleaned up, and the in here everything looks nice and modern. There is a big carpet. The carpet was actually in pretty bad condition, and there's nothing major to this room. Well, actually, I'm gonna say it now. Basically, all this floor, it was a wooden floor underneath the carpet, but it had to be taken out because it had woodworms. So we taken out all the floor, obviously all the carpets, and replaced everything, even including the hallway. This room is carpeted, but it actually doesn't have wooden floor underneath. It was all cement, so this was luckily one less room that we managed to not to redo in that sense. Um, the locks, I've redone the locks as well of those French doors. Paint in this room is fairly nice. It's a bit dark in winter. Kitchen, it looks lovely. It looks like nice and modern. The problem with these units is that although it states they're German quality, they really started to break apart in some corners. They're not very nice in general, especially the drawer under the hob is not great. But it does make it looks nice. It does make its impact when you walk in. It kind of looks nice. I don't think it's been fitted particularly well. That's all. So yeah, that's the kitchen. Moving on to the cloakroom. The cloakroom is completely. I mean, I ripped everything out. We done basin and WC toilet. There was also this awful boiler in there, which has been replaced, and it's been moved elsewhere. So that boiler was really inefficient, making the bills really skyrocketing. Consumer unit is still there, it's still fine. and this is the floor we're talking about. This is kind of the playroom. So in the playroom, again, there are a couple of issues. The one with the floor having woodworms that has been had to be taken out completely, and also the bay window. Above the bay window, I found there was a rotten fascia which had to be changed, and the radiator wasn't working, so that has to be changed. But apart from that, it is still quite nice room. Heading upstairs, nothing major. Again, the radiator here on the landing has been changed, all the carpeting has been changed, all the actual flooring in every single room upstairs have been replaced. The color of the walls, as I said, we changed it, but I think I know they done it like that because the gloss wasn't gloss white. In this room, we actually installed another electric switch behind the bed. But the worst problem is actually to do with the built-in wardrobe. So the built-in wardrobe has some ventilation problem, and we created drill through so that there is better ventilation, but also there is a macerator in there which stinks. So this is the most ridiculous ensuite I've ever seen. The shower is kind of fine. The unit is like awful in the corner right there. And also the shower, yeah, if I can manage to stop for a second, if we look at the shower on the corner, on the left bottom corner, it's been leaking, so there is something that has to be sorted out. I think because the tiles, they finish right on the edge, but they finish inside the screen. So usually the tiles, they carry a little over, and then you put the screen on top of the tiles. But here, I mean, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't look like it's being fitted properly. And with the old boiler, there was a shower pump, a salamander shower pump that was incredibly noisy and using energy for anything. But with the new boiler, we managed to get rid of it because the pressure was enough. And we obviously repainted everything. So the rest of the room, yeah, lovely views and everything. This room is fine. It's actually one of the best rooms in the house. Obviously, we repainted, we removed the carpet, put new flooring in, and we are in here. We actually done a lot of socket work, so we put extra sockets on two of the walls actually because these old properties just like ridiculous. They only have one socket in awkward places. And moving on to another room. This is another small room. It's pretty much like the same. We repainted, no other sockets. Actually, in here, we pretty done no work at all. That roof, yeah, that has been replaced. I mean, those tiles, I hated them. They were full of moss. I couldn't clean them. And we also replaced the entire roof, generally speaking, as well. So the main, well, this is the landing area with the storage. That is where the boiler is now, actually. And this is the last room. This one has quite a few problems. So the roof was leaking over this room. I'll try to find some pictures and put them over as we speak. It's the coldest room because it's north facing. It didn't have many sockets, so we had to do electrical works in here. And yeah, it has some blown plaster that needs looking at. The toilet is kind of fine. I obviously fixed the cistern. I replaced the taps, painted the cupboards, and it kind of generally looking okay. The shower, I replaced the shower unit. But the rest is kind of looking okay. I replaced the floor. I changed the lighting in the bathroom as well. We got rid of the plug. It's kind of is better lighting. We change a lot of lights in house in general. So heading back down. Finally, in the garden. So the garden, the patio is something I would like to change. I haven't changed it yet. It's kind of an awful patio actually. The brickwork by the kitchen has been replaced because it needed fixing, and both the shed and the fence as well. You can see they look nice and blue, but they were all completely rotten. So that was a big job as well. But can you see the garden? I mean, it looks kind of nice, but in reality, it was really sloped, and we made it flat into two areas, and we kind of landscaped it a bit better. The rendering, if you can see, is pretty shocking. I mean, I tried to fix certain areas, it's been repainted, and also the roofing has been redone. And that's pretty much all of it. We may follow this video with before and after for kind of every area, but for now this is all the information I wanted to give about the house and everything that was wrong around about the house.